Hong Kong there on the right. So, I was thinking originally we could try the Stonecutter visual approach, but as you can see there's a few clouds around and it might just not work due to the random clouds in between visual reference points. However, so the runway is somewhere over here now, hopefully. We're coming up to Chung Chau VOR at the moment. We're about 8 miles away. Coming in a bit too fast, actually I'm going to start gauging the approach mode already. Approach phase, there we go. So Chung Chau is at 8,000, so hopefully we'll get to 8,000 a little bit early. We have time to level off and slow down. We're using the...
Hong Kong ground, very good evening, Chicago 749, you located
not on Hong Kong ground frequency, he's on Unicom.
You're on Unicom.
Yeah. Alright, so concentrate, this is 8,000, there we go, we can now start slowing down. Hong Kong traffic, Cathay 903 X-ray inbound Chung Chau. We're doing the IGS approach runway 138 Kai Tak. There we go, so Chung Chau, 8,000. Probably going to take out the speed brake now. Go, give a chance to slow down. Let's pop on all the signs now. Everything's okay. So at Chung Chau we're going to take a left turn to Golf, descending to 6,000. So I'm going to put 6,000 into the box there and on the landing system. I'm going to switch over to flight director mode already. We're at minimum clean speed now. You can see Hong Kong city lights lighting up the clouds there. It's quite a lot of light pollution actually, as you'd expect from a massive city. Okay, we're turning left now, so I'm going to bring us down to 6,000. Going to go about 1,200 feet per minute, which is roughly a 3-degree glide path at this speed. 240, 250 times 5, yeah, 1,200-ish. So descend down now. I'm going to put flaps 1 in. And we're going to do the over 180 knots procedure, which means we skip a shallow 1 and we just make a right turn heading 045 straight out of Point Golf. Basically the idea is we're probably going to overfly. We have to overfly it basically. So actually I'm going to do heading set now. There, 270 degrees. When we get to Point Golf I'm just going to go straight past it. Speed's coming down as well, but we're still over 180 knots, so that is definitely time to use the full procedure. Just bring the speed down a little bit more. Next waypoint is 4,500 feet. Okay, so we need to now reduce a little bit lower, so I'm going to set speed 180. Put the next layer of flaps in. There we go. So now there's Point Golf. So let's do heading 045. Adjust it a bit because we are actually going 180 by the time we reach the waypoint, so we should go to shallow 1 actually. So direct to shallow 1. Using a heading for this though because direct to NDBs aren't really a thing yet. I can't be bothered to use RNAV to start the approach, and we're going to descend down to 4,500. clouds now coming in. You can see the strobes going off on the right. And the clouds go away. There's quite a bit of turbulence actually. You can see the wings kind of flaying around. Okay, 1400 feet per minute. Now we're going to turn right 045. Arm localizer. We're now below the glide path, so I'm going to reduce the rate of descent to 800. We've got wind 145 at 3. The Hong Kong wind at the moment is ground tower and 80, so we don't need any of those. So we need H. It's 090 at 16, so slightly to the left, and let's assume that's going to be the same at Kai Tak. Okay, there's the localizer, so alarm approach mode now, engage the second autopilot. We do have some clag between us and the ground. Can use auto brake low. And let's get the cabin in.
Flight attendants, please prepare for landing.
Now I've updated to Ali 501, I think it is. I keep saying his name wrong whenever I do these videos. Version 3 of Kai Tak, so I'm hoping that's going to be a nice improvement, especially with the what do you call it? Yeah, the approach lighting. So the lead-in lights are a little bit crazy sometimes at Kai Tak, so I'm just hoping they're going to be a bit better. So I'm going to reduce down to 160. And we're going to put in the third layer of flaps now. So that's our flaps full speed, so we're kind of just in a nice speed ramp. I can see the leader lights starting. They seem a bit less intense, which is a good thing in my eyes. Or are they still gigantic spheres? Let's have a look. In any case, looking good. Let's put on some panel lighting just so I can see a bit. There's still kind of sunset up there, but that's now gone because we're now below cloud layer. Speed brakes off. Cabin's locked anyway. Right, there we go. So let's just do 160 until the outer marker, then we'll drop the gear, do the full approach. Now, I just did a bit of reading up about the Airbus landing mode. It's actually got a flare mode which engages as part of the flight laws. So at 50 feet it engages, and that means basically by 30 feet what happens is the aircraft will start to push the nose down so that you have to flare it as you cut the throttle. So cut the throttle at 30, flare at 30, because otherwise the aircraft just kind of maintains a straight flight path, because Airbus works off flight paths rather than
2,500
descent rates and such like. Yeah, so the visual approach probably was a good idea not to do today. You can see we would have probably only just about become visual now by Stonecutter Island, and you'd come in over here basically and then join the approach, whereas this whole cloud would be in the way.
2,500.
So there we go, let's pop the gear down. Stabilise for the approach. Now we're setting our final approach speed. There you go, coming in over Stonecutter Bridge now. Still using the Samseen Hong Kong City Times scenery, which is actually wonderful scenery. Works really well. We've got the lead-in lights there. You can see the main bar here. This is the start of the end of the lead-in lights, and then hopefully somewhere soon we'll pick up the checkerboard. But you can see the visibility isn't great today. It's only 8 kilometres, which kind of insinuates there's a bit of haze or a mist around there. Okay, so as our visual now, let's see if the checkerboard is in sight. Where's the checkerboard? Is it lit up anymore? Skytech traffic, Cafe 93 X-ray, final approach, runway 13. Still no checkerboard. Okay, there's a checkerboard with the yellow lighting up on the hill. It is night time, so that's fair. There we go, that was lit up. Great. Shame about draw times on lights. Same a little bit to the left. Bit of a cheeky left turn, give us a longer final, which is exactly what Cathay Pacific used to do. So now I'm aiming at the checkerboard, and the reset there.
1,000.
Everything spawns in and then back out again. The only problem is we can't actually see the runway due to this building here on the right, which isn't actually there in 1998. It's there now. Well, I suppose that's kind of cool. We've sort of brought Hong Kong Kai Tak into the real world. Bit of bumpiness. 1,000.
Hundred above.
100 above. We're on the Pappy, so let's just maintain that descent rate.
100 above. 500.
I'm visible, I'm happy with that. So there's the wind, 86 at 11, so we've got a slight crosswind actually.
400. 400. 400. 300. 300.
Nice and bright. Just adjusting the turn.
300.
So maybe turned a little bit too early, but there we go.
300. 200. 200.
750, 800 feet per minute. This looks good.
100.
Perfect.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10. 5.
Touchdown. Bit of crosswind there. Reverse screen, decel. You can see a departure up ahead just there. 80 knots. Disengage reverse thrust. Go to manual braking. Gonna make this exit here. 40, 30, 25 knots. Spoilers in. And vacate to the left. Flaps up. Welcome to Hong Kong. This airport really gives you a feeling of Hong Kong because you're in Hong Kong when you land. It's not like you're 20 miles out of the city. So you can see all the adverts there. Some cruise liners. Turn off the strobes now. Mega box. Look, they've got an IKEA. How fantastic is that? And I think they might have actually, have they updated that away? Nope, the coronavirus warning is still there on that building behind us. So I hope that gets updated at some point when this whole thing blows over. I've probably demonetised myself, not that I earn anything from this anyway. Together we fight the virus. Here we go. Let's taxi in. Which stand shall I take? Probably go for one of the nicer ones. Oh, it's wonderful, isn't it, the scenery? That's a lot of boats in the harbour. I wonder if they're all actually there at any point. Well, this is a cruise ship terminal, so maybe it does make sense. Also, I'm fairly sure that one's on land. Hey. Drive into the lake. Yeah, don't try and do passenger views when you're driving a plane. I'm wondering why everything went weird for a second. Right, there we go, now we're on the straight and narrow again. Let's check the landing rate, the all-important bit. Why is it veering left? 123 feet per minute. Perfectly adequate. Yeah, it's leering to the right. Not actually making any control input, so I'm guessing there's a slope to the right somewhere. I don't think anyone else is here. So we'll just take stand 1 straight ahead at the nice terminal building. Shame we don't have a marshaller. Right, there we go. Parking brake. And let's connect jetway. Oh, that one. That's going to interfere with the next one, but oh well.
Yes, doors are disarmed.
The doors verified?
Wondering what they're saying.